Well, we have a lot of products, but let me talk about the platforms that we're positioning. So we have three primary platforms at Palo Alto. The first is called Strata, which focuses on network security. So the traditional firewall is no longer apt anymore. So our focus is primarily on next generation firewalls, which is where the company started more than 15 years ago. And within the Strata platform, we're focused very much on expanding the capabilities of what the firewall can do. And we're introducing concepts like Secure Access Service Edge within that framework, which I'm sure we can talk about in a little bit. Another key platform for us is cloud. And so cloud security becomes really critical. And under our Prisma platform, we talk about securing the journey to the cloud, and then the workloads in the cloud, and a whole set of other products as well as platform services within that area. And then the third is really focused on the SOC, the Security Operations Center. And so the transformation that the Security Operations Center has taken uses a lot of automation. And so within our Cortex platform, our focus is really to kind of highlight at GITEX what the future of the SOCs really should look like. And encompassing all three of those is our threat intelligence service under our Unit 42 brand that is really critical as well. So those are the four primary areas that we're covering. One of the key elements in each of those three platforms very quickly is within the Strata area, the focus is on machine learning and inline machine learning within the next-gen firewall. So we're doing a lot of work in showcasing what the future of that next-gen firewall is going to look like. Within the cloud, we're talking a lot around specifically SASE. So within our Prisma Access line, we're focusing very strongly on the future of hybrid connectivity. As you know, 2/3 of the organizations in this region have realized that their employees want to continue working in a hybrid environment. And so the focus now is how do you secure those workers as they move around essentially anywhere and want to connect to anything in the organization. So talking about SASE is really critical. And then the third in the SOC is a solution that we're rolling out called XIM, which stands for Extended Security Intelligence and Monitoring and Management Capability. And so here it's the evolution of where the automation of machine learning and AI meets the analysts and helps them become a lot more smarter from a day-to-day SOC operation perspective. Wow, there's a lot of successes, to be honest, in this region. Specifically within the UAE, with the launch of some of the services that we've had, a lot of our customers are starting to see a lot of value from consolidation. So there's a lot of focus now on moving away from 20, 30 different sort of point product or point vendor type solutions. And so they see the power of the platform, which is what Palo Alto is really bringing to the table. And one of the key successes we're having both within the government as well as within the enterprise sector is helping customers go to a journey where they move away from multiple point products, multiple contracts, having to deal with trying to find resources to support 20, 30 different security vendors, and move to a single platform-based architecture, which Palo Alto is really focused on. So that single-handedly is one of the largest, I would say, innovations and one of the best achievements that we've been having in this region. Well, so specifically in this region, what I'm really excited about is the adoption of cloud. As you know, a lot of the cloud providers are now coming in. We've had Microsoft Azure in the region, and in the UAE as an example, AWS is in Bahrain, Google is launching soon in each of these various countries around this region. So as customers start adopting cloud, what excites me most is that they start to realize the value of the cloud beyond just cost savings, right? It's not about just the cost. It's the actual optimization of services, it's the optimization of data, using the power of machine learning and AI from the cloud to actually deliver services that they need for the future. And so from our perspective as a cybersecurity leader, our focus is to really help them realize how to secure that cloud journey, but more importantly, how to deliver those cloud-based services to them regardless of what location or regardless of device. Generally, we're seeing three key trends right now. And being a CISO, I speak to a lot of CISOs and CIOs and CTOs, around the region. The three key topics I've been having recently is, we talked about one of them, which is the vendor consolidation piece, right? So a key performance indicator for the CISO right now is to move away from these 20, 30 plus kind of vendor environments that they're on and really try and reduce that as much as possible. We have more than 4,000 cybersecurity vendors in the industry today. It's a lot. And for the domains that a CISO has to focus on, we no longer just have to focus on the network or the endpoint. Today it's the Security Operations Center, it's ID access management, it's governance of all sorts of other key areas. So the expanding attack surface with digitization has made the CISOs realize that they really need to hone in on their overall cybersecurity strategy. They can't do that with 50 vendors. And so one of the key topics we're helping them with, and which is a key trend in this region, is that vendor consolidation piece. The second is this concept known as zero trust, which I think has taken a lot of slack in the industry because it's being used quite openly and very vaguely, to be honest, amongst many organizations. But ultimately what zero trust is the removal of implicit trust. Meaning as a person, I need to verify who I am, the device I'm using, and the application I'm trying to go to in order to really get access to whatever piece of data that I'm looking to do. With Palo Alto, the conversations we've been having is really almost unteaching and teaching them on what zero trust means, but then also to help them map a journey towards zero trust in the right way, right? And so that's a key element that I think CISOs and CIOs are very concerned about. And then the third we talked about, which is the Security Operations Center, and kind of the challenge of dealing with multiple events, multiple tools again, and really moving towards a single platform that they can use, a single dashboard essentially, that allows them to be a lot more efficient in the way that they deal with alerts, but not really have to rely on people, but actually have the machines automate through the majority of the incident management lifecycle and actually use the people for what they're really worth and what they really should be doing, which is threat hunting and looking at the operational efficiencies of the SOC itself. So between the vendor consolidation, zero trust, and the SOC, these are the three key elements that I think work really well for customers here. Yeah, you nailed it. I think when you think about work is no longer a place we go to. Work is an activity, right? And so we want to have that activity from a coffee shop, from a friend's house, from obviously our home. And so the thing that we're learning is 75% of organizations or 75% of employees in any organization generally want to have that hybrid model. They want that flexibility. And so the challenge with organizations today is they need to prepare for the future, because we're talking about metaverse at GITEX, we're talking about cloud, of course, as we said earlier. So how do we prepare and how do we secure those types of meeting environments for those employees as employees start changing the devices that they're using as well? As you know, at GITEX, we're talking about the marriage of a laptop with a tablet and a phone as an example, unified endpoints, virtual desktops. The next 2 or 3 years is going to be very exciting from an end user perspective. So from a security perspective, however, again, it's an expansion of the attack surface that CISOs have to worry about, and CIOs to a certain extent. With Prisma SASE solution, our key focus is to help customers realize that they need to move towards what we call a zero trust network access. Zero trust with zero exceptions. Meaning ultimately as a user, I need to be continuously trusted and verified, not just as a person, but as the device as well as the application that I'm using. And then I need to use all the security services in the back end, such as DNS protection, DLP, the traditional sandboxing capabilities, and constantly inspecting the traffic and the data to ensure that I'm transferring what I should be transferring, in the application that I'm working with. So that ZTNA 2.0 journey, as we like to call it, is really critical to the future of any hybrid work environment.